Right, here we are with another day vlog. We're down the unit again with Jimmy. We've got a couple of little jobs to do down here. This ain't going to be a Reliant Regal video, but I'm going to be doing a bit of sanding on that as well. And I'll show you a little bit of kit that a few of you have been asking about. See you in a minute. Nice to see Jimmy doing a bit of work, bit of house maintenance here. Just cleaning out the booth. He does this every now and again, which you've obviously got to. And we've got a car which we've got to take the tailgate off. We've got an XR3i here. Is it an XR3i or is it an RS Turbo?
I think it's an RS, I don't know to be honest.
Yeah, it might be an RS Turbo, but we'll show you that in a second. But yeah, one of the other things that some of you was interested in was the sander or the DA which I was using. Let's go and get it. So basically what we've got here, these are this is a DA, as you probably know, which you connect your airline to, and also this thing here, which is your vacuum hose. And in a way, this is what you call a portable shop vac. It's basically a big hoover at the end of the day, but what it does, it sucks all the dust and particles away through these holes in the actual DA here into this big chamber here. And this one here, for example, this is a Merca push and clean system. But as I say, it's a very handy tool because it does keep the most of the dust out of the air. And we've also got the other sort of DA system here, which is very similar, but this is obviously a flatbed one as opposed to the round DA which we've got there. Both oscillate, but this one's better for getting into corners and stuff like that. Now you can buy the strips to go straight on there, but we tend to just use these round ones, and as you can probably see, we use them like that. And what we do, because if you had just the square ones or the rectangular ones, once you wear that edge out, that's basically it, it's done. But when you use the round ones, you can just turn it around sort of a sort of quarter of a turn or whatever, and then you've got another clean front edge again, which we do most, just sort of getting into corner stuff. So you can use that sort of 3 or 4 times if they're using the round ones, and that sort of gets over your problem of not having the actual right rectangular one. So that's what we do anyway. And this again, it's got loads of holes in it. You're still going to get some dust that drops on the floor, but it really does help. It really does keep it out of the air as well. And all you do to change over to something like this, you sort of take the hose off of that one, and all you do is you plug that adapter on there. We've had to put a bit of tape around this one. Put it in there and click your hair hose up, and then you're on that one. Switch it on. As you can see, it's just a hoover, and I can feel suction on that when I put my hand over that. And that's basically all it is. Very good tool. So it's made by Merca. It's called the Push and Clean, and you probably get that from any good reputable car body shop suppliers or whatever. So that's what to look for with that. That's what we use, and it does keep the dust out of the air. Right, this is the black XR3i, or is it an RS Turbo? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Hey? It is. Oh, this is an RS Turbo by the looks of it. So he's got the bonnet grills to paint on these, and if we take a look at the roof's obviously had some work done, and I think it had a new roof welded on it, didn't it? As you can probably see there's the weld marks along there. So this roof is off a different car. This is actually blue, this roof, as you can probably see. The bonnet spoiler's got to be, the boot spoiler's got to be repainted, but we've got to drill these holes out in there, because these holes in there, typical things on an Escort RS or XR3i, they tend to round off in there. So we've got to basically drill them bolts out so we can get the spoiler off. And obviously afterwards you're going to need to give this a complete full machine polish, so that's another job which he's got to do. And yeah, so as you can see there, look, there's the weld lines along there. It's done a good job. Whoever welded that on has actually done a very nice job of that. So yeah, it's all under the surface. There'll obviously be some filling in there to do, and bringing that level so that you can't see the grinding marks by the looks of it. But yeah, that is a roof off of a different Escort. As you can see, it's light blue in colour on this one. So the windscreen's been taken out already, so that's a bonus as well. And yeah, that's what we got to do today. So I've got to give Jimmy a hand to take the rear tailgate off and also drill them holes out. So we'll do that a little bit later on, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, we're just having to get the cables that run down the actual inner channels of the bonnet hatch there by putting a lot of guide wire in so that we can re-pull them back in afterwards. You've also got a rubber hose that comes up there for the screen clearing fluid, and as I say, that also goes down there, but we can put that one back in a bit later. As long as we've got one cable going down there, which we have, we'll be okay. So we're just going to do the same now to the other side, and hopefully then we should be able to lift the door off. Right, so we've disconnected how many cables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables that do up here. So we've done that, and now Jimmy's just going to pull them through now. We've got a drawer cable on, so don't forget to feed in as well as pull. Makes life so much easier. Keep going. The white and red one's the longest one, I think. There are a couple that are close together there. They're not tied together, they're just... They got plugs on them. I think one was purple and black. I think they're both purple and black. And there's also another water tube that goes down there as well. So we'll also do the same with that. There's a water tube, isn't it? Or is it a cable? Right, and that's it. So that's 2 lots of cables going up either side. So that's what you've got to disconnect to remove one of these. Is it because it's got to go right up in the air? Oh yeah, it's got to go right up in the air, Jimmy. Look, one one's out. Lift it right up in here. That's it, there we go. Right, there you go. So you've got to lift this right up in the air to actually withdraw this. So let's remember that when you put one back on. Okay. Typical thing on these, we've got the top screws out. Alright, these ones are totally rusted and rounded off, and we're going to have to drill the heads on these. Right, okay, that's both screw heads drilled out, hopefully. And then we've got one underneath in the middle support there, which you access from underneath, which is an 8mm nut, by the way. Right, so that's that one off. There we go. Hopefully, this should come off. There we go. Superb. That's that off. Those are the top screws to the spoilers, as we got off pretty easily. But these ones here are actually studs, so I've actually had to drill the head off of a long stud. So we've got to unscrew them out and then find another long screw of a similar length to go back in through the actual body of the spoiler. So the next job would be to take these out and obviously find another screw to replace it. So that's what we'll have to do with them when we come to do that. Right, so one of the other jobs we're going to try and do down here today is to actually get the decals on this Kawasaki Z1 tank. We've bought the decals, they cost £60, and all Jimmy's doing now is just going over the old tank now, because if you remember the last video vlog we done, this was all shiny. What Jimmy's done, he basically painted it in Kawasaki green, put one coat of lacquer on it just to seal the paint in, so now we can apply the decals, but we don't want a shiny surface when we do that.
Shiny?
Yeah, we don't want a shiny surface when we do that. So what Jimmy's doing is just soaping it down now with a scuff fluid and a Scotch-Brite pad. This is a grey Scotch-Brite pad, and that just gives the surface a nice key for us to spray on, but also we can apply the decals on top of this, no problem. So he's just washing this down there, getting this prepared. We'll get it dried off and then we'll start to apply the decals. This is what he's actually using. It's a surface prep, and it just gives enough abrasive that you can key the surface and get everything nice and smooth. So that's what he's doing here anyway. So right, so we've had to come home. I've got to go and get my drill now. I've got a bit of work to do on the floor. Drill a hole in the concrete floor of Jimmy's unit. Oh, here, look, I've just come home, look. Gary's here with Mummy. And what are you doing? What are you doing, baby?
I was making a surprise for you for Father's Day, a new table out of the old pallets we've got laying about. This is Mummy's great idea.
This just shows you what you can do. I've had this old pallet in the garden. It's one of those longer pallets. Bison. For, probably a year or so. They're turning it into a table. I've had some old, like, fence posts knocking about, obviously. Amazing. So you weren't going to tell me this, was you?
Oh, it's supposed to be a surprise.
I've sneaked home. And Bert's doing this little work here with Mummy.
No, we're drinking the same glass, we knew.
And I didn't know anything about it. It looks solid enough, doesn't it? What's the height like?
That height.
Oh, you've cut the legs the same height as the table.
There's another little one out the front which I'm going to do, which we're going to make another day, smaller for when you do your barbecue to put the stuff on.
That's handy, yeah. See, something like this in the shop, made up wood like this wood table, you're talking about £200. This is an old pallet. You can obviously get these about, I don't know, I can't even remember where I got this one from.
That thing come on it, something arrived on it, I'm sure of it.
Might have been Jimmy's compressor arrived on this,
that
actually,
was
I'm
it.
not too sure.
I know something arrived on it.
But, yeah, we just had it sitting out the back there. What I was going to do was make it into some sort of log.
Don't you be taking credit for this now?
No, I'm showing you're doing it, baby, aren't I? Well, you and Gary. Oh, very good. Well, anyway, I'm going to get a cold drink now, so we'll see you in a minute. I've come out to get that drill. We've got to drill a couple of holes in his floor.
All my stuff's Beco, washing machine, everything.
I've always liked Beco. I've never thought there's any that. It's only because my mate, her fridge caught fire and burnt her whole house down up in Kefke a couple of weeks ago. And now this one, this tower, apparently it started with a Beco fridge as well.
Oh, did it? How do they know that?
Yeah, well, yeah, actually I'm lying there because they never says they make it.
Don't tell lies, Robbie.
They never says they make it. It started with a fridge.
So you see, that's
so
how
they're saying-
rumours start. You said it started with a Beco fridge, and you just said
No,
you
I
made it
says
up.
a fridge, and then I says to Sharon, and Sharon says I've always said Beco. And
Yeah.
I was telling her yesterday
But-
about my mate's house.
But you said it was a
And that was a
Beco
Beco
fridge.
fridge.
That's how
Apparently
rumours
they're
start,
prone to
Robbie.
start fires.
Hey?
do.
We've got to go
Like
back to
they
work,
said,
me and Jimmy. But before we come out here, see Sharon's turned that table over there. Look, that's the one she just made, her and Gary. And you're doing a very good job, baby.
Happy Father's Day.
Robbie's come over as well,
Here's my bread girl.
come to torment us.
Excuse me, I went down the road to get Sharon a loaf of bread. She asked me could I go and get it. All right, Moni?
Yeah. What do you think of these chairs as well? Look, we got them chairs from Facebook for nothing. Lots of people wanted them, including her.
I did put in,
bid?
in for them.
Yeah, well, so did we, and we got them.
Good.
Come on then, let's go. What have I got to do with you, help you with?
Who?
You.
Drilled a hole in the floor,
Oh, that was it, yeah.
put stickers on.
Oh, the stickers on the bike, wasn't it? Yeah, alright, we ain't going to get nothing done on the rear light today, am I?
So what have you been doing all morning, Dana, then?
Helping him get the door off the back of the RS Turbo. Then I had to get the bolts out and the spoiler off of it. Then I had to straighten his doors up so they don't rub on the floor. His spray booth doors. Or while you've been sitting at home doing nothing.
Oh. And you went out, there was no table sat here.
What about you?
I've finished for the day now.
When did you start? Because you weren't here when I left.
He's getting his bags.
I was out doing business this morning.
Business. And look at you, Mummy, look what you've done here. Look, very good, isn't it?
Well, I didn't do the legs, I can't take credit for
No, but I mean the actual finish on the table looks nice as well.
it. It all got sanded.
Yeah. Very nice job. What about you, Jimmy? What do you think of
How
it?
much can I sell it for?
I'll tell you what, people do make pallet furniture, don't they?
This is pallet furniture. I've just done it.
Well, Richard made all his garden furniture out of pallets.
That's what I mean. People pay a lot of money for this sort of stuff.
And he made the decking bit as well with the pallets.
Right, so what we've done here, as you know, we've given it a scrub clean and keyed the surface down with a soapy abrasive solution with a Scotch-Brite pad. Jimmy's just giving it a wipe over now with some panel prep, and that leaves us nice and clean and ready to apply the decals. Now we've got some drawings here. As you can probably see, this is what we're going to be working to. These look like original graphics on this bike. So we've got 2 lots of decals. We've got this type here, which are like the arrowheads, and they're going to go down the side of the bike. But the initial first one, which we're going to put on the top there, is this sort of rectangular one which goes around the petrol tank. So that's basically central, and here it is here. And what we're going to do is to use some soapy water. This isn't tyre shine, this is just a container we found, and we're going to basically liberally wet the top of the tank down where we're going to apply the decal, making sure we get plenty of soapy water on there, like that. We're going to separate the backing paper from the decal. Jimmy, have you got a knife or a pair of scissors? Because on this one they've obviously done 2 graphics. We don't want this outer one, we only want the inner one to go on the tank, so we'll have to separate this one. Okay, so that's the one we want. That's the one we don't need at the moment. That's for another application. So now I'm going to remove the backing paper from our decal. Like that, we don't need that. Have one more check of our diagram. In fact, what you can do is just to squirt the back of the decal as well. Just make sure everything's nice and slidey. As you can probably see, I'll just fold in the decal in half here to get a crease line down the middle. And there we go, that's the first graphic on. Nice and straight. How about that? Just got to let this dry off now. Push all the water out from underneath it, and that'll be ready for a lacquer. Happy days. Right, okay, I'm just going to carry on now and get this finished, and you can see it when it's all lacquered and finished. I'm running out of battery life on my camera now, so I'm going to have to say ta-da for now, and I hope you enjoyed today's little vlog of what we've been getting up to around the garage, and we'll see you in the next video. And until then, bye for now.